Hey everybody, I just figured I would go ahead and jump on a little bit early. We can get the hellos and whatnots over maybe a little bit early and get into things since I had everything else ready to go. So I know it's not technically 3, but people will show up when they show up. Hi Lopon, hi Colin, James, Eric. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Friday? It's actually kind of nice in Arizona. It's overcast. It rained a little bit. It's cool. Hello and whatnot. Hi, Scott. We'll give it a. We'll say hi. As you can see, once again, if you've been here before, the Google form is already pinned to the top. Go ahead and fill that out while we wait. That way you guys can be entered to win. I'm going to select 3 winners and they'll have their choice of one of the brand new ink fountain pens that we're going to discuss again today. I know we discussed that in the September live stream, but I have the full lineup now, the whole shebang. We're going to look at all of them, talk a little bit about it after we go through some of the other stuff. Just got to work and you're watching a live stream. Must be a nice place to work. All right. Scooter trash. That is most definitely a one-of-a-kind Instagram handle or YouTube handle. Hello, Amanda. Hi. I wonder if Ish is going to be here. I messaged him on Facebook the other day and he never responded to me. I'm sure he's a busy man. Andreas, hello. I need him to message me back because I need to start planning next year's Pen Club coin. It's just around them. Oh. Okay. I thought the big one would be Scooter Trash, but I think maybe O's got you beat. Just O. Hello, Jay. Jay Bright. All right, I'll go ahead. I mean, it's a little bit after 3. People can jump in and we'll get to stuff. I'm going to do a Colorado Pen Show recap. Oh, man. You've got to be kidding me. Hey, Steve. It looks like there is a little bit of wonky stuff going on with the video, which we've had in the past, and hopefully we can get through it. It looks like it's just kind of like blinking every once in a while. If it gets too bad, we might have to restart. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be okay. When I started Streamlabs, I downloaded a whole new update, and frequently when that happens, this wigs out for some reason, and I don't know why. Sean, Ian, Chris, Retro, what's up, guys? Anyway, let's go ahead and just get into it. If the video starts acting worse than it is right now, we'll address it as time goes on. Otherwise, jump into the Colorado Pen Show recap, wrap up, whatever you want to call it. With the Colorado Pen Show, it kind of like brings our whole pen show calendar, basically, for lack of a better word, to a close. So we start with the California Pen Show in February, and we end with the Colorado Pen Show in October. So we won't be hitting up Detroit or any of the other ones that are later this year, or the Philadelphia, or yeah, I think it's Philadelphia. They have a pen show in January. We don't we don't go to that one. It can be very can be impacted heavily by the weather, and it's early in the year. We're usually smack in the middle of wrapping up from the holiday and then doing inventory and stuff. So we usually take a break. Um, Having said that, Colorado was once again an absolute amazing time. I cannot recommend enough going to a pen show at least once. I know they're not everywhere. They're kind of regional, and if you live on either of the coasts, you're better positioned to make it to one of the larger ones, whether that's Atlanta or the Triangle Pen Show, the Baltimore Pen Show, actually probably over the Triangle Pen Show, although I think the Triangle Pen Show is getting a little bit bigger now. San Francisco and California, and then the Colorado Pen Show, I think, are the three kind of main ones out here. Portland is getting bigger, absolutely, Brian. That one is getting bigger. So there's a lot of them, and if you have the opportunity to go to one, I would highly recommend it. That being said, I personally, having been to many of them, really do enjoy the Colorado show for a variety of reasons. Ed is Ed's a great host, and the Colorado Pen Posse is hands down one of, if not the main reasons to attend the Colorado Pen Show. There are other really good hosts, don't get me wrong, like the guys that run the San Francisco Pen Show, Franz, and the other organizers of that pen show are great. They're super wonderful people. But having a group of really dedicated pen people in Colorado kind of takes that whole atmosphere to a whole nother level. Like if you go to the Colorado Pen Show, there were going to be anywhere between like 15 and 40 Pen Show Posse members volunteering on one of the days. They do stuff before the show opens. They do stuff after the show closes in terms of just sitting down outside. They help all the vendors, number one. But if you're just there, they'll talk to you. They'll sit down. They'll show you all their pens. They'll show you how to, if you're brand new, they'll show you how to use different filling mechanisms and let you try their inks and write with their pens. And so while the venue is relatively small and there's not nearly as many vendors as other shows, the main benefit of going to the Colorado Pen Show is the people. I think that's a big thing about the shows that are really good, is just the people that you're going to run into there that are just super nice people that are into pens. And Colorado definitely has a wealth of people that are involved in volunteering for the most part. One of the other great things about the show is like they do tons of giveaways. Like Ed has all the vendors, he doesn't force us to do giveaways, but almost every single vendor that vends there participates in one of the hourly giveaways that they run. So there's tons and tons of stuff to give away. Ryan Krusek usually gives away 3 pins, I think, one every single day, with a huge grand prize pin at the end. Like he's the main sponsor of the show, and he gives away like some of his like top of the line pens, like, and all the other vendors, like we give away a pen. Almost every single other vendor like participates in the giveaways in terms of giving away pens or giving away nib grinds or giving away other kinds of stuff. So that's another reason. I think the third reason really for the Colorado Pen Show to be like the way that it is it's not overwhelming. There are certain shows that are like absolutely 100% overwhelming. They're so big and there's so many people, and it's just like the crowd becomes oppressive. Like you can't move around. If you're looking for a specific vendor or a specific pin, you might not get that at the Colorado Pen Show. But it's gotten a lot more diverse in terms of vendors as the years have gone by. Like there's Drom Ghouls is there, and he brings a ton of different pens. He was right next to me, and Luxury Brands of America is there, and they have a ton of stuff. Carrie with Trufe, it has a huge table set up. Joel from New Mexico, I forget the name of his shop. He has a ton of stuff set up. This year they had Pilot and Platinum were represented there with like a nib grinder. Brian Krusek I already mentioned. So there's tons and tons of Nick Pang was there with a bunch of his repaired pens, and he was doing classes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of vendors at the show. So if you're not looking for like a specific thing, like I want a Sean Newton pen or a Brooks pen or somebody that's going to be at a specific show, then the Colorado Pen Show is a really good show to go to. It's very laid back. It's the only downside to the Colorado Pen Show is that it's not closer to Denver, and it's like some of the hot spots. Like if you want to go out and get a great meal or you want to go get cocktails, there's not a lot way out where the pen show is. But it doesn't take long to get to any of those places. And if you're a huge beer fan, it's almost always during the Great American Beer Fest. So you can kind of double dip, like in terms of like, I'll hit the pen show for a couple hours and then I'll go do some events at GABF. So once again, it was a great time. I had a blast. Like saw a bunch of people that I hadn't seen since last year. Saw some new people that weren't there last year. So it was a really fun time. It was a great way. It's the one show that I go to every year. I try to take a little time off and see friends in Colorado while I'm there and just kind of maximize my time. So I had a great time. Everybody else there had a great time. Like we were wrapping things up. I know multiple different vendors that I talked to on the last day said it was one of, if not their best show, which is really crazy considering it's not as big as some of the big shows. But it's becoming very popular and there's a lot more people. Thursday is a late day. It starts at like 4 and goes to like 9, but it was packed with people on a Thursday, which usually that doesn't happen. So it was a great time. I had a great time. I had a blast. I'm still like I drive, so it's like 15 hours driving there and the same thing back. So I'm still like getting over it. I drove back on Monday all the way. Still a little bit tired, taking my vitamins, but I'm here and got big plans in the work, and we're going to go over a bunch of that stuff. But like I said, if you have the opportunity to go to any of the shows, even if you like save up, like I'm going to fly to one show, I highly recommend Colorado as being a show to go to unless you're looking for a specific vendor that doesn't vend at Colorado. It's just the least stressful show that I've attended. And the crowd seems like the least stressed and not like pushed through. You can spend time at tables. The other one that's very, very similar is the Baltimore Pen Show. The Baltimore Pen Show has the same vibe where it's just like super laid back and relaxed. And maybe the Colorado Pen Show is that way because like, weed's legal there and it's right across the street from a huge dispensary that the hotel is. So people are just like contact high coming in. Regardless, whatever it is, it's a great time. So, all right, enough of the recap. There was a Luxury Brands of America is out of North Carolina as well, and they were at the Colorado Pen Show, and they actually survived most of the damage because they own property up in the mountains and were able to like go up there and kind of hunker down and shelter, and they were running a fundraiser for Origami Inc. At the show. So yeah, hopefully, I know there's a lot of different organizations, different pen companies or pen shops that are trying to do what they can to help Origami Inc. hopefully be able to get back and set things back up. That's a shame that they, were basically completely destroyed by the hurricane. I haven't heard anything specific recently except for what they were talking about at I can't even remember their names now. I'm terrible with names. The owners of Luxury Brands of America, and I talked a little bit about that on the last day I was there. So I'm sure you can find fundraisers to help if you specifically want to do that. And like you said, there are some other organizations that are doing specific things like Retro 51, and they're donating some of the money to that. I know they had the fundraiser at the thing, and I think they were actually giving some of the proceeds of the specials there towards Origami Inc. as well. So, all right. Kind of got off track. Okay, so we're going to go right into, I'm going to go we're going to go quick. Boom. Right into the ink walkthrough. So let me switch. We're going to switch views here real quick, and I'm going to talk through, I know we talked about this in September, but I want to go ahead and go over it more in depth because I've got the whole shebang here in terms of what we're going to release when we relaunch the ink fountain pen. So as you can see, I've switched the view here. The glare is absolutely incredible. So we're going to, let's see here, we're going to turn that off. And I don't know if it'll get better if I turn that off, but hopefully it does. All right, so I'm going to go over all the colors from left to right and basically talk about everything. That way I can answer your question, Trip. So from left to right, we've got the black, all black. This is full bright dip, shiny black, not like the matte finish. And then next to it is the blue, again in quote unquote bright dip. The one to the right of that is the dark green, also with bright dip. Then next to that is gray with bright dip, and then we have an absolute mistake and potentially the last time you will see this color in anodize, and that is the olive, which was supposed to be a matte finish, and they did it 2 or 3 times, and after they do it more than once and they strip the anodize away, it makes the base material, it removes enough of the tumbling process to make it quote unquote shiny again. So that technically does not have bright dip on it, but the transparency of the anodize basically allows the pen to be shinier than it is. So so that's a mistake, and I don't know that we're going to pursue olive after this release for the ink. So this might be the last time. And then we've got orange, and then we have red. The purple violet is actually a matte finish, which was another mistake. It was supposed to be shiny. Unfortunately, it's not. So the first initial release is going to be a matte violet, and then followed by all tumbled, and then we have brass and copper. The colors, the anodized colors, all have matching frag grips that is going to be an option when you purchase. So you'll be able to check out with the standard black or silver, tumbled, brass or copper, or on those specific model, like if you want black, you'll also have there'll also be an option to pick the black with the corresponding black grip section by itself. So that is something different. Like, we're kind of phasing out the frag grip options for the ink. They're not nearly as popular as we expected them to be, and they're kind of difficult to make. So this is going to be the last time to be able to get them in production. So you'll be able to pick matching ones, or you'll be able to pick the regular ones. Now, when we did all the colors, I didn't have enough raw ones to do the tumbled version with a frag grip also. So the tumbled will just have the regular smooth or the other color options in terms of silver, black, brass, or copper. The brass and copper versions will also be available with the corresponding brass and copper frag grips, or you'll be able to select from their regular ones. All of these have aluminum grips or aluminum clips on them with either the matching colors, and then the brass and the copper version have the Type 3 hard anodized natural and finish on those. We think they just look nicer with that anodize on there. Like, it's just I don't know. It goes really nice with the shininess of the raw material. So this is going to be the lineup for the initial release of, oh, there it is. It's wigging out a little bit. Might have to swap. So this is going to be the initial lineup in terms of the release, the relaunch, whatever we're going to call it, which is tentatively coming early next week. I want to do it on the new website if at all possible, and that was scheduled for this weekend, and we've kind of run into a little bit of hiccup. James, like the web technician guy who's like doing all of it. I'm going to switch that's the wrong thing. I'm going to switch views here and come back to me because I think maybe that camera might be a little bit. Nope, it's not the camera. Hopefully the live stream doesn't keep wigging out here. So, like I said, we're hoping to release these next week on the new website. Now, that doesn't happen because of the issues that we're running into right now. James did a whole bunch of pre-work in terms of like downloading the database on the old site and hosting it on his home server. But in the process, all of the orders that he downloaded, that part of the database was corrupted, so we have to like go through that again and potentially re-download it. And it was 17 hours to do the last time, so we're hoping to still get it wrapped up and switched over this weekend, and then this will launch on the website. For those of you that are really like observant, you'll notice that there's not a silver version or raw, like silver anodized, the clear anodized version. We don't have plans to have that version available as a production release for the inks going forward. And it might not happen for the other pens as well. We might be phasing silver out as a production release and just releasing it a few times a year. It's just not a very popular option, and it's becoming more and more difficult and costly to get silver anodized done well. Like the last batch that we got was had a cloudy finish over it. It just looked weird. And so we've kind of like made the decision to phase that color out, at least temporarily. I know a bunch of you were talking about titanium. That's not going to be an option again, largely because of cost. It's just not feasible right now for us to continue to purchase raw titanium and manufacture it. It might be in the future. We're not saying we're never going to do it again. It's just we're definitely pausing titanium until there's some kind of restructuring of the fountain pen market, a rebound of some kind in terms of like the pen market being more viable. And that may happen sooner rather than later in terms of like economic easing and financial stability and consumer confidence. There's a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes that kind of dictate where we're allotting finances right now. That's kind of getting into the weeds of stuff, but like that's just kind of one of the things of why we're like, okay, we're not going to do these premium materials that are both costly in their raw form, and then costly in terms of how we machine them and the amount of money that we have to allocate in terms of the raw cost, the tooling, and the time on the machines. When you factor all that stuff in with titanium or any of the more difficult materials and more expensive materials, the cost is like exponential. So it's built into, it's one of the reasons why titanium is more expensive, but we just can't afford to tie up that stuff on machines for something that's that expensive when the majority of people are not spending their money on that premium product. But again, I want to reiterate, like that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go completely away and we're never going to do titanium again. We still have some titanium pens that haven't been released that we'll be releasing. I have I think one more small batch of bolts, I think 50 standard bolts. And then trying to prep for the next portion of the show here. So we do plan on eventually bringing that stuff back. It's just in the meantime, it's not going to happen until things kind of like swap around a little bit until we have like a rebound in the market. All right, so that's the inks. So 3 winners. Having said that, if you haven't completed the form that's pinned to the top of the chat, please do that now. I'm going to choose 3 winners at the end of the stream randomly, and they'll get their choice of one of those pens. And yeah, that's going to be the giveaway. So we're going to do 3 winners from the relaunch pens. So you're preaching to the choir in terms of like titanium fountain pens. Like you guys want a titanium ink. I desperately want a titanium Vertex. I really enjoy the weight of the titanium pens. And the Vertex is my favorite version. So I specifically would love to have the Vertex in a titanium, but it's like I said. So we're just going to have to, you and me, we're all going to have to be a little bit patient. Hopefully things turn around quickly and I can bug Bill and he can make titanium inks again. All right, so I'm going to switch screens again and we're going to talk about some of the stuff I brought back that's going to be available for the, it's going to be available to, hold on to your, okay, real quick. Hold on to your questions. At the end, we're going to do a Q&A. So if you got questions, keep on, hold on to them until we do the Q&A portion. So let me switch over and I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I brought back from Colorado that is like small batch stuff that it's going to be available to Pen Club members over the next couple weeks. Boom. Okay, let's see here. Right. Okay, so here's like one of the 2. I have 2 different. I'm not going to show all of them, but I have enough for about 2 trays of kind of like random one-off pens that I'm gonna open up for the Pen Club members. So we'll go through these quickly. So if you're a Pen Club member, this is kind of the stuff that you're gonna see between now and I don't know the middle of November as we like work through some of this stuff. The first 4 vertexes here are the last of the stuff that we poured, that Zoe poured before she left us. So this one is red and white with like gold fleck in it. It's really amazing. I think we only have like had 1 or 2 of these that actually like made it all the way through. The green and white also has like gold, just a smaller fleck in it. This is blue and white. There's no mica in this one at all. This was a test batch. We were trying to do red, white, and blue, and the blue and the white and the red didn't have time, didn't set hard enough, and so they started to blend together, and so that's why you have the white actually looks more pink where the red is. You can actually see the white a little bit better in the blue areas. It actually comes through as white. So those are like some of the 4 final pens that we poured. This is the last of some of the Omos rod stock that we have. I think I have 3 of these currently. There's only we made 3 or 4 pens, vertexes with this Omos rod. After the fact, we found a little bit left, so really beautiful. The gold swirl through the dark black. And we have a couple of these. I can't remember what we called these. These were on the website for a while, and there's a few of those left over. So those are 2 of those vertexes. And then we go into the first of the decagraphs that we poured. And I think these were all poured by G and not by Zoe. This is a translucent orange and yellow that she did. And then this one is a darker orange, white, and then clear for the bodies. So the bodies this is actually white. It's actually clear on that one. The one next to it is just kind of a light green. I think she was testing this color and was going to do blue in it. And so there's a little bit of blue in there, but it was the ratios were off. And so it just kind of came out as green with like a little bit of blue hiding in there. And then this is another orange that was mixed with amber and came out brown. And it's like, again, semi-transparent. And then all the stuff on the right is the faceted stuff. So we got a faceted titanium EDK, faceted brass retract, faceted copper bolt, and a faceted copper decograph. So all this stuff is going to be available to Pen Club members sometime towards the end of next week. I need to figure out how I'm going to create the I don't know whether it's going to be a lottery or how we're going to sell these, but something like probably a lottery just to make it easy. I don't know for sure. Give me a little time to think about it, but it's at the end of the year. We wanted to get some of this stuff out to the Pen Club members, since this is the stuff that we had, some of the special stuff that we had at the pen shows. We'll give the Pen Club members one last go at all this stuff before we pack it up for next year's pen show. All right, back to my face. Yay or boo, depending on how you feel about staring at somebody. And I'm going to swap it out one more time because I got one more thing to show off. Whew. All right. Yeah, G does a great job of the faceting stuff. She really spends a long time back there. I know before I went to Colorado, she spent like the better part of 4 or 5 days in the back faceting all that stuff. I guess let's see. While we wait, let's go ahead and do the Q&A now. So if you guys, I'll go ahead and answer your questions now. So we'll go ahead and do the question and answer now. I'll show kind of like a few things that are coming up, that if you were at the Colorado Pen Show, you would have seen these pens already. And I don't know if we've teased these or not. I think maybe we have, but I've got a couple more things to show off in terms of upcoming stuff. So, questions. I'm here to answer your questions. Let's see. I'll see if I can scroll back and answer any questions that I might have missed. How many faceted 80Ks do I have? One. I only have one. Like, I think those 4 pens are the faceted pens that I still have left. I took some to Colorado, and those are the ones that made it back from the show. They're usually really hot sellers at shows, regardless of what they are. I think I had an ink and I had some other ones at the show, and I think G had some at the show that she was at before that as well. So they're usually big time sellers at the shows, and this is the little bit that came back. Are we going to do a Christmas box? I'm not sure, because last year we didn't even sell 50 of them. So I got to figure out how to like refocus that whole effort. And I don't know. I haven't sat down to figure that out yet. Like I have a lot of figuring out to do between the holidays, anniversary, and the Black Friday stuff. And right now I'm really just focused on the new website and then Fountain Pen Day. So I have a Fountain Pen Day release lined up, the relaunch of the inks, and then hopefully the website switch gets figured out, and we're in a good place so I can do the rest of that stuff. So I can spend time to figure out, should we do a Christmas box? Is it viable? What do I do? If we do a Christmas box, it will only be a rollerball version. We will not do a fountain pen box. We sold like 3/4 of the boxes we sold were the rollerball versions, and not the fountain pen versions. So now we'll do some special fountain pen for Christmas, but just maybe not a box. When did I notice the downturn in terms of fountain pen, or in terms of just the market? We had a really strong sales in 2020 and in 2021, and then started to see a decline in 2022, and then a dramatic decline in 2023. Even from the decline we saw in 2022. And this year has been a challenge to maintain the monthly sales that we did last year. And so I've really had to be a lot more creative for a variety of reasons that aren't all pen sale related, but just what we have available and how we structure things, and where we and how we sell things has dramatically changed from last year to this year, just to maintain the sales year over year. So that would be probably Q2 2022 was probably the one where we saw that first like dip, and we're like, oh, Like maybe things are getting a little bit funky here, and then it just continued in 2022 and then dramatically dropped off in 2023. Special modals by the end of the year. Yes. We're going to see a little bit of that next after the Q&A. And then there's going to be more after that. Does any ink stain the Ultim? I can't answer that question, Steve. I haven't tested Ultim with all of the inks. What I have tested doesn't seem to stain it. But the only thing I would say is you just have to when you clean it, you just have to stay away from chlorine products because that will ruin your Ultim. Stick with soap and water and other things that don't have chlorine, bleach or anything like that in them, in terms of like cleaning that if you do see some type of stain. But everything that I've tested with the Ultim, I have not seen a stain. Not like the stains that you can get on white Delrin if you leave it for a long time. Now, I'm sure that some of the Noodler's bulletproof inks and their archival inks that are like super waterproof will stain if they're allowed to be on the surface, especially if they're eyedroppered on the internal surface where it's a little bit less uniform in terms of like the machining. I'm sure that stuff will stain over time if left long enough, just because the chemical makeup of that stuff. That stuff stains aluminum. I've tested aluminum pens with one of the, not Bay State Blue, but one of the other archival blues that Noodler's makes, and it stained anodized aluminum, not raw aluminum, anodized aluminum. It like was able to somehow color the anodized aluminum and it would not come off. So those inks, I guarantee you, left on long enough will stain. I'm dying to get a fluted copper bolt. Any chance these are coming? I don't have a time frame on any of the fluted stuff right now. I know we're going to be doing other grip section profiles, including Dragon Skin's going to make a comeback. But the fluted stuff we have to do on another machine, and that machine is currently on job shop work because it's the only machine that we can use that we can do those jobs on. And that stuff kind of takes precedence over the pens right now because there's just a little bit more movement in terms of job shop work. So not in the short term. I don't have a time frame on it. How do aluminum versus stainless steel clips compare? I don't even know how to really answer that question. For EDC pens, like stainless steel is kind of like the was the standard, but for all other kind of pens, having an aluminum clip is a luxury. The majority of other pen manufacturers are using some type of like spring steel that's plated, that's basically garbage you can buy in a 25-cent, like you put a quarter in a little machine and like a gumball machine and out pops the clip. We don't notice. They're mechanically speaking, they're absolutely 100% fine for the job that they're meant to do. I've yet to break one, and I've snagged mine on my seatbelt, and I've yanked on it, and I've pulled on it this way and that, and we started making aluminum clips with the Decograph, and that clip would have more problems. And then we did stamped aluminum clips for our ballpoint pens, like the EDK and the Bolt and the Retract. There's not a huge downside to switching to aluminum in terms of viability. Also because like if for whatever reason you're able to like damage it or break it, we'll replace it. Like, that's the thing, is like, we're just going to replace it. We had people break the stainless steel ones. Like, we had a whole batch of stainless steel ones that, for whatever reason, I don't know, they were really brittle and thinner, like in this area here, and we broke one here, and we actually ended up like not even using them. So I don't notice a difference between them. The benefit of having aluminum clips is that we can color them a lot easier, and they're vastly cheaper. I've talked about that multiple times in the past. The reason that we switched to aluminum is because we can machine them all in-house, and the cost of stainless steel sheet that we used like went up to like, it basically made it so it was like $13 a clip by the time it was finished, which is just like, I can't put a $13 clip on a $90 pen. Like, that's just absolute sheer lunacy. Like, so it's just not viable for us to do that anymore. Okay. Yes, we're still going to have more Yovo compatibility in some of the pens going forward. The Ultim Vertexes will have some of those available when we re-release the Ultim Vertexes. I don't even know, Ian, so Ian asked, any hints on the Black Friday pens? I have no idea what the Black Friday pens are going to be. I haven't even gotten that far yet, once again. Jamie LB, are the new ink fountain pens going to be rebranded V3? No. We're actually going to be dropping the V2 off of everything. If you've paid attention recently, we've started deleting that off of everything. That's why we're just calling this like a relaunch. It's not that big of a change, like, for us to do that. Like, if we had some type of major engineering change or something that we did on the pen, then we would call it a V3, but this is just a minor change. How does one become a pen club member? We don't have, so basically in the beginning of the year, we sell coins that are like $30. Depends on how much the coins are. We sell a coin, gets you into the pen club. Pen club members get exclusives, they get discounts, they get discounted exclusives that if they're less, or early access, that when they go to the regular site, they're increased in price to the full MSRP. So it runs from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. I don't have any slots available anymore. We're sold out. The pen club is full for the year. We have a specific amount of slots available. We sold out about a month and a half ago, the last one. So there aren't any slots yet left for this year. We will be releasing next year's coin in January, as long as Ishmael is still willing to work with us and he's alive and kicking. So I was hoping he might be here. Yes, there is going to be Yovo Vertex. That will be the Ultim one. It's going to be soon. No, the Delrin actually, like, the threads in the Delrin aren't officially undersized, but the way that they grip, they're actually pretty tight. So you're not gonna notice that. Performing interpretive dance. Tie clip cost would be extremely amazing based off of the stuff we've tested already. No hesitation. Let's see. How many slots do you sell to the pen club? So the first year we had 300. The second year we had 400. And then we ended up adding another 100 the second year to have a total of 500. The third year we ended up selling almost 600 slots. And then since that third year, we've been right around 500. So this year we ordered 500 coins, and we have 500-ish members. So yeah, we stay right around 500. We usually get 300 to 350 people that sign back up a second time, and then over the next like 5 or 6 months, we'll have another 100 to 150 people sign up that are new members. The threads are smoother, yes, but they are also like grippy. Like we don't do it, they're not undersized. Like I don't want to say they're undersized. That material just like moves around. So when we cut it, it doesn't expand necessarily, but it's just, they're smooth, but at the same time, like they tighten down pretty well. Like they tighten down enough that they don't require, like the capped pens don't require an O-ring. They're not going to come unscrewed in your pocket if you tighten them down. So I don't know if I have any of the old I don't think I have any of the old stamped coins anymore. I have like a couple years that are just like random ones, but I don't remember which ones I have. All right, so I'm going to wrap up the Q&A, and I'm going to show off the last like teaser in terms of like grip section teaser. So I'm going to switch the screen around again. Bye, you don't have to stare at my face anymore. And we'll do a little zoomy zoom. Let's do a little more zoomy zoom. We'll zoom all the way in. All right. Hopefully that shows up nicely on there. So we've thought about doing a cube that was like that. I just don't know that it's actually going to be something that we end up doing. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if we'll do one with slots for the coin. We might do a different type of coin display. It's actually something I'd like to do, is like some type of coin display. So I'll sit down with Bill and actually talk about that. All right, so grip section profiles. This is going to be, so we had these at the Colorado Pen Show. They sold a whole bunch of them. This is like a honeycomb design, like, I don't know, what is it? Is it hexagon? Yeah, hexagonal. I don't know what we're calling these. There's no official name yet. It'll be coming soon. The first versions. So these are bolts. These are modals. I'll zoom out now that you've seen the full grandeur of them. They're gorgeous. Like they're pretty deep in there. So I don't know. There will be we will have aluminum modals and aluminum bolts with this grip profile as well that will be released. Not just the brass and copper versions. Just the brass and copper versions are done first. I don't have to wait for anodized. So we'll have some of these available faster than the aluminum versions. So yeah, this is going to be one of the grip section experiment profiles that we're doing. There will be a few more versions that we're doing. I think we have a total of, counting this, we have a total of like 3 or 4 that will be released between now and the end of the year on bolts and or standard size modals. But yeah, this is going to be the first go of this grip section. Will be on the brass and copper, and then we'll have some different colors before the end of the year. Super awesome. I sold probably half of, I took a bunch. We have a lot of these in brass and copper, and I took a lot of them to Colorado, and I sold a lot of them in Colorado. They were very, very very, very popular. Yes, we do have plans to add some stuff to the pocket modal. I know, I'm trying to remember what Bill was saying, dragon skin. I don't know what other ones we're going to do on the pocket modal specifically, but there will be some. I don't know if the hexagon will make it this first batch, but probably when we do a second batch, the hex will be on the pocket modal as well. Surprised so many people are asking about the pocket modal. It's not nearly as popular as a standard one. We sell, for every one pocket modal we sell like 4 standard modals. So I guess all you pocket modal lovers are in the chat right now and watch on the live stream. So that's fine. I mean, we're not going to discontinue that pen. I guess that's the last thing that I wanted to talk about in this one. We are going to be officially discontinuing the retractable mechanical pencil. It will go away with the stuff that we have in stock right now. And so what we have in stock will be the last of the pencils that we make. I'm going to order some more inserts so that we can sell through what we have. But once that's done, it'll basically be discontinued for the foreseeable future. I think I might have mentioned it before, but expect to see that in the next couple months, that we officially discontinue that product. So again, I don't have a specific date, time, hopefully next week. A lot of it hinges on the website. I'm really trying to hold off on releasing product on the old website because we're so close to the new website being launched. I'd really just like to launch stuff on the new website. If the website swap doesn't happen this weekend, then I'll go ahead and we'll release stuff on the old website, the inks, and then those brass and copper hex pens will go up this week, along with a bolt, an anodized bolt with a different grip section that I'm not going to tease here because it's a surprise. That's in aluminum that'll be available next week. So some stuff I'm holding on to. You just got to give it to me. In terms of pricing for the ink, so that's one of the things that I didn't go over. When we launch the ink, the ink is going to launch with special pricing. It's going to be launched $15 off for the initial window that we launch it. Basically in celebration of Fountain Pen Day coming up, which is literally I think the 1st this year. It's the first Friday of November, and I think it's the 1st. So I have Fountain Pen Day swag bookmarks specifically from Carrie that will go out until they sell out, and all of the inks. And so the aluminum inks, the standard price for the aluminum inks is going to be $95. They're going to be on sale for $80. And then the brass inks are $155. They will be they're going to be $15. Everything's going to be $15 or $20 off, direct markdown. So that's going to be the pricing on the inks when we launch those. Let's see, did I miss something? Such a tease. Well, I gotta hold on to some secrets, guys. Gotta hold on to some. All right. It's almost 4:00. Last call. Fill out the form linked at the top. Up there, right? Is it there? It's there. Fill out the form that's linked up there. Okay. Once you filled out the form, we can do the drawing. All right? So fill out the form. I'm going to pull stuff up. I'm going to get everything ready so we can do the drawing for the ink giveaway. But while I'm doing that, if you haven't filled out the form, fill out the form at the top. At the top. Fill out the form that's pinned there. It says like that white bar that's up there. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Fill out the form. Am I pointing at the right spot? No, it's a tattoo. I have a tattoo on my arm. It's the only visible tattoo I currently have. I have other tattoos on my chest and on my back, but this one is only my only visible one. All right, let's see here. How many times are we gonna randomize the sheet? 5 times. We're gonna 5 time it. All right, let's see. Has everybody filled out the form? At the top. I can't do it. I can't do it. My finger doesn't want to work that way. Watching it is just really bizarre. Wow, they've really changed this too. Okay then. Sorry, I'm just... An interview with Bill. Interesting. I might be able to actually give you, like, who asked that for that? Adam? I don't know if you're still in the chat, Adam, but like, there actually is an interview with Bill. There might be more than one. I'll have to see if I can find them. Might actually link to that in a future newsletter. I know there's a documentary that was put together about pen makers that Tough Writer actually did. And one of the sections he interviewed Bill. And then recently we were featured on the local NPR. They feature like local companies, and they hired a new one of their new broadcasters for their morning show. Actually owns a decograph. Had no idea that he bought it before he moved to Arizona. Had no idea that we were in Arizona. And then when he was researching something else, and the fact that Karis Customs is a Arizona pen manufacturer, he I want to do our interview. So he interviewed Bill. So I'll have to send that out, and then he can be vastly embarrassed by me doing that. But I think it's funny, so I'll have to find all those interviews and link them. Oh, G. If we do G, we might have to do day of the week. G and Tommy usually end up spending time. They have a cabin up north, so they head up Thursday afternoon. But we could probably do some other type of live stream where we sit down and do something with G on another day. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so I have everybody. I've got everybody. Oh, no, there's one more. Now I have everybody. All right, we're going to run this. We're going to run it, guys. We're running it. We're going to clear it. Okay, now 5 times. We're going 5 times, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, our winners. The winners. Yes, she was great on Penboy. So yeah, we'll have to do something with her. We'll get something going with G. All right, so winners are as follows. Anthony Munt. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. That's really rude if I'm not. So Anthony is one of our 3 winners. Winner number 2. Boy. Jeremy. Just Jeremy. Hopefully there's only one Jeremy. Winner number 3, Maria Prater. those are our 3 winners. 3 winners right there. Anthony, Jeremy, and Maria. Email your shipping information to paul@karascustoms.com along with your selection, your pen and nib selection. So what color, which one of the inks you would like, and what nib you want in it. One of the questions, and then I'll get that out next week at some point. One of the questions that wasn't asked, but I guess I'll address it just on my own. We're not going to have a separate rollerball version available for the ink. We'll be able to purchase the rollerball kits as an add-on, and we're going to reduce the price of the rollerball kit to basically just cover the cost. So it'll be like, I don't even know, like $5 when you purchase the pen. You'll be able to add a rollerball kit for like $5. And then we'll have the kits available for as cheap as possible if you own one and you want to swap it out. One of the reasons for that is we just don't sell very many ink rollerballs. We just don't. Not enough for us to like spend the time to like have all that stuff stocked separately, and it's just as easy to sell it for as cheap as possible with an add-on. I don't know. It's possible that in the future we'll just like bundle them all together, so the whole thing will come with a rollerball like kit just in the full price. But moving away from that option as a full page just made more sense, because we'll go months without selling an ink rollerball and really only sell any of them when the inks are like super discounted. So we just kind of made the decision to kind of shrink the options a little bit based off of customer preferences. If we get a whole bunch, we may bring that back. If we get a whole bunch of people that are like, I really like this, I would buy one of these. Probably when there's a turnaround in the market again, then we may bring that back. But for now, it's not something we're going to do. Boy, I am having a really hard time today with that. There we go. Okay. All right. You guys in your shop tours, man. I just need to buckle down and figure out how to do a shop tour thing. Like if I could just take this with me, but this setup is static cameras. I would just do it on a Friday. Maybe we'll do a pre-show. Let's plan for that. Let's plan to do a November live stream where I live stream from my phone one way before the show starts, like a 30-minute walkthrough or something like that. Then we'll come in here and do the sit-down live stream. I don't know how we'll accomplish it. Might have to be half of it might have to be on a different service than on here, but I'll do some tests and so we can try to figure it out. Because I know I've been like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll do it. But yeah, like actually like doing it before the show, before the actual live stream from like 2 to 3 or 2:30 to 3, and then doing the actual live stream might be a little bit easier that way. So fingers crossed I can figure out how to do it. We'll do it in November. All right, guys, that's all I have. If you're part of the Pen Club, you've seen some of the teaser stuff that we'll have available for you guys here in the next couple of weeks. All right. And then the inks next week. Fingers crossed. Even if the new website isn't up, the inks are slotted for next week. So you'll be able to see those next week. We'll have a bolt release next week, regardless of whether the website's up or not. That I haven't teased, but has a new grip section. And actually, it's like a full prototype grip section. Like all of the grips that were made in this, and the one that I'm going to be releasing next, are all done on this version. It's pretty cool. It's a nice color scheme that we haven't had in a long time. All right, so I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I've got probably another hour's worth of work. Actually, not that much today. I think I'm about 30 minutes from being wrapped up. So I really appreciate it. There was a bunch of you guys today. We had like almost 60 people at one point. Sorry, never mind. It updated again. It was 60. Now it says 120. So yeah, like a lot of people today. A lot of people showed up. So that's great. Love seeing all of you guys jump in here. I don't know what we're going to go over next month, but it's going to be something fun, and we'll do a live stream. We'll the plan is now to do a shop tour as a pre-live stream. Everybody have a great weekend. And yeah, there's 3 winners. Make sure to email me. I do have your email address, so if I haven't heard back from you by Monday, I'll shoot you an email and ask for what your specifics are. But again, thank you guys. Cheers. Be safe. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you. We'll see you in like a couple weeks now, since this is a week late. So we'll see you pretty quick here with the November live stream. Bye, everybody.